Hello guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. So today is the day that we officially start looking for flats. So I have been back home now for about 2 months, 2.5 months, and it's coming up to the end of July. Now I am going back to uni for 1 more year, so I need somewhere to live in London, and where my university is, I'm sort of aiming to be somewhere around there or somewhere where I can get close to university. And I'm moving in with one of my friends, so I'm going to have one other flatmate. So what we are looking for is 2 bed, 2 bath, or a 2 bed, 1 bath. So I thought I would bring you guys along on my journey of trying to find a flat in London. Now if you live in London or you know anything about London, you know finding a flat is very difficult. So I thought I'd bring you guys along on my journey and just sort of share my experience with you. So I have written everything down and I'm going to go through it with you guys. Let's start off with the first thing, which is location. Now London is very big, I'm sure you're aware of this, so location is very important. Now for me and my flatmate, that location is, for us, would be work and uni. Both of us work and both of us obviously go to university, so we need to be near the university and also near to work. So we first started looking at locations like Islington, Angel, Shoreditch. We also looked sort of around the DLR line, which is in Central, so more towards like Bank, so places around there. But we found that for our price and for what we wanted, it wasn't quite what we were looking for. We also both love West London, so we did sort of plan to look there, but once we sort of figured out between work and uni, it just wasn't what was right for us at this moment. So in the end we decided to stick to near where we work and where we go to uni. So we are in sort of southeast area, sort of like Canary Wharf, Blackheath, Greenwich is predominantly where we are looking. So I sort of wanted to split up what we wanted in the flat into essentials and nice to haves. So these are sort of the things that are essential and it's like a hard no if they don't have this, and the nice to haves would be if they have them, that would be incredible, but it's not the end of the world if they don't, and we can compromise on them a little bit. Our essentials for the flat would be that it is within a 15-minute-ish walk to coffee shops and shops, a little bit of community. We want to be able to get our groceries quite easily, and we also want to be within good distance to our university and work. We want to be able to get to them quickly, efficiently, and we don't want it to take a really long time. We also would like a new kitchen or new sort of appliances. This is sort of a borderline of nice to have and essentials because we need a dishwasher. That's something that we really do want. And obviously a washing machine. Now with a washing machine, we would like to have a washer dryer, but we are again on the fence about if that one will push us over or not. So next would be no lower ground floor. Now this is sort of going in with the next point, which is good lighting. Now if you've been to any lower ground floors in London, or probably anywhere in general, the lighting usually isn't very good because you're below the ground. So that is a non-negotiable for both of us. We want really good lighting in the flat. And next is that we want 2 good sized bedrooms. We don't want like a piddly little room. I don't know if this is the same in a lot of cities, but I know in London it's quite a big thing to have like a 2-bed apartment, but it's not a 2-bedroom. It's just 2 rooms. Like you could not fit a bed in some of the 2 beds that I have seen. So that is obviously a non-negotiable because there are 2 of us living in this flat, so we need a bedroom each. And then the other one is either a 2 bath or 1 very good bathroom, like a good sized bathroom. So some of our nice to have or not essentials would be sort of a building where we're sort of 2 or 3 floors up. We thought that would be quite nice. We have both lived sort of on the first floor and the ground floor, and we think we'd prefer to be a little bit further up. And also another one would be if we could get like a communal garden, a balcony, a rooftop, something sort of outdoor space, some outdoor space that we could go to. And that's just because obviously living in a flat, sometimes you can feel a little bit cooped up, so it would be nice to have like a designated outside space. Parking is something that we don't need, but we would like there to be a place for visitors to park, because if my parents come or her relatives come, we want somewhere nearby or within the facility that they can park easily. Another one is a lift. We would really like a lift, but we know in London sometimes that can be a little bit difficult, and that is just so it's easier to get the stuff in and out. We also would like part furnish, or at least just beds in the apartment. I do have furniture left over from my other flat that I moved into, which was completely unfurnished except for the beds. So like a completely furnished flat isn't something that we need, but it is something we would at least like to have a bit of furniture in there to sort of start us off. The last one was location. We don't want to be too far away from train stations, because obviously transportation, we need good transport links. We said sort of a 15-minute walk to the nearest tube station works for us. So going into flat hunting, these are the things that we're sort of looking for. So next is budget. So our sort of budget is between 1,800 to about 2k, and this is the top of our budget within the price. If you don't know this, a lot of properties in London that are student properties can sometimes include bills, so we said we wouldn't mind going a little bit up if the bills were included. So the first property that we looked at was within the Greenwich area, and we decided that it looked great. It's very modern, very new. It has a 2-bed, 2-bath, and they both seem very good sizes. It also has some good amenities in there, which was honestly something we didn't think would be included in our budget. So as you can see from the listing, it's very bright, very airy, and it seems to have a lot of light and some really good windows. So this is the first property that we looked at. So as you can see, it's a very secure building and it has a lift. I believe our property was on the 4th floor, but as you walk in, very bright, very well decorated. This was the ensuite or master bedroom, which was huge, plenty you could do with it, really lovely space. And it had an ensuite shower, which again, really good sized bathroom. And when we first walked in, I was like, oh my god, this is incredible. I absolutely love this. But what we found was, as you can see now, as big as this room is, and as stunning and as spacious it is, the next room, not so much. Now, earlier on in the video, I was saying about that really small second room. This is bigger than some other ones I've seen, but I think for price and for 2 students who both need room to work, I want to be sort of similar in the rooms. I think it was a no-go for that reason. Beautiful modern kitchen, a spacious living room, and it did have a lovely balcony, which is a plus. However, I don't know if you can see in this clip, we are right by the railway, which is super loud. There is a little bit down there as well. The balcony, as you saw, there was a little bit extra, which was good for storage. But yeah, lovely property. And it does have another bathroom, which is huge. You've got a bath, really great size, and then there is a cupboard for the washer dryer, but it just wasn't the property for us, so we didn't put an offer in. The next one was recommended by the agent. It was very under budget, which was a good thing, but it's safe to say this was not the property for us. So as I was saying, this was the second property we looked at. Now, I don't know if you could see, but the carpet was very worn, the walls needed painting, and it just was very dark. I didn't love the appliances. There was a lot of sort of stains in the kitchen, but it was a decent size. We also had some issue with the flooring. It was very uneven. I didn't like the safety from the front door, and I think the bathroom itself was very dated. And if I'm honest, I just think the whole apartment needed a good lick of paint and it just needed redoing. But the owner wasn't going to be doing any renovations. It was a very decent size, don't get me wrong, but as you can see, my mum was picking up on some floor damage, and just genuinely it was not for us. We decided that we were not going to put an offer on this property. It was not what we were looking for. So flat number 3 was actually a low ground floor apartment, which I couldn't actually tell from the pictures because they were so bright, and the space just looked airy, and it was old, like historically old, but it wasn't old as in like old appliances or anything like that. It was modernized but still had the character and charm of the building itself, and honestly the pictures blew me away. I was absolutely in love and obsessed with the pictures, so I emailed them straight away, and I think I badgered them a little bit because I did be like, I'm really excited to see the property, like please can I see the property, when are you free? But yeah, so from the pictures it was looking really promising, so let's go and see the video of the property. So I know I talked about this property already, but as you can see from the outside, it is a beautiful old house built in the 17th century, and it's actually on the lower ground floor of this apartment, which, as you guys know, it wasn't actually something we were really looking for, but from the photos you couldn't tell that. And if I'm honest, from the apartment itself, it was extremely bright. My goodness, this property is stunning. The architecture, the building, the beams, it's an absolutely stunning renovation job that they've done on this property. It is beautiful. It's a huge apartment as well. It was under our budget as well, which is insane. They had this little alcove where you can make a desk room and a wardrobe room, which is adorable, and your own private entrance to the garden. The bathroom in it is actually converted from the coal chutes, which is really cool. The history and just the building itself are absolutely stunning. There's so much character and wow, just absolutely stunning. These rooms are huge. The amount of storage in these rooms is insane as well, and they've still got that rustic character and charm of the stunning building. Now I have to say, this is one of our favorite properties that we viewed, and the garden, it is the biggest garden plot in Greenwich, which is insane. Now the house itself is up for sale, but selling a house like this, because they own the whole thing, is obviously going to take time. So it had a 6-month break clause, which we were fine with because they told us that it was less than likely to be sold within the time period. They also had a cat in the building from the people upstairs, and the garden was just magnificent. So many little alcoves that you can sit and read and have your coffee. Honestly, an amazing apartment. After we put our offer in, we were so excited. We're envisioning ourselves living there at this stunning property. Our offer, unfortunately, did not get accepted. The way they were doing it wasn't so much to an agency, it was a more of they chatted to you, they sort of got to know you and the other person that were living here, and then they made their decision, and unfortunately they went with someone else, so we were back to square one. But honestly, it's a stunning property and we had a really big privilege of just going to go see it. So unfortunately, after our offer was declined, we were back to square one, but we went to the estate agents, and I was constantly on Rightmove, Zoopla, OpenRent and any other platforms you can think of to try and get some viewings, and we did get some booked in for the next week. So stay tuned for next week's video, which is flat hunting part 2. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!